So we've talked a lot about working with data files and data structures in text format. When you're working with files, obviously you need to be able to store those files and move them around. And we're going to be focusing really on using the Azure cloud environment. So let's take a look at how we might work with files in that sort of environment. So here's our Azure cloud. Now, Azure is a collection of cloud services that you can subscribe to, and then you can just pay for what you use in that cloud environment. So it's a very scalable, very useful way to be able to work with data in the cloud. So I've got my Azure subscription. Within that, there are a couple of services that I can use to store data that are commonly used when I'm working with big data. Now, the first of these is a thing called Azure Storage. It's been around for a long while now. Many applications use this as a place to store their data, and it allows me to store blobs of data, effectively files just stuck there in my Azure Storage, and I can access them and process them. Now, until recently, that was pretty much how you would go about working with certainly files for big data processing. But recently, we've also introduced a new service called Azure Data Lake Store, which has many similarities with Azure Storage. The main difference is that it allows you to have much larger files and much more of them. So it really is designed for massive quantities of data that you want to store in the cloud. And it also has some integrated security features and the ability to manage permissions across hierarchies of folders within there. So it's a more kind of scalable, large volume data store. But regardless of which of these two types of data storage you're using, you're going to need some sort of a client tool that you're going to work with. Sometimes that'll be an application you build yourself, but more often than not, when you're building big data solutions, you'll need some sort of tool that you can use just to simply upload and download files between those data stores. So one of the things we're going to look at next is some of the different tools that I can use to work with Azure Storage and Azure Data Lake Store.